but he said if someone takes notes, he'll do the minutes.
I'll take notes.
Okay, good.
I'm going to leave myself off camera while I shovel my dinner into my face, if that's okay.
No worries.
No worries.
Got it. So I'd like to call the meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance. We'll skip that. Approval of prior minutes. Did everyone get a chance to review the last minutes, or anyone who admit they did not?
I did. I had no comments for
I
once.
looked them over and have no comments, so I will motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Got that, Joe?
Got it.
Got it. So public comment, hearing none, we'll continue. Old business feedback from the Board of Selectmen meeting. So Lauren was just apologizing for keeping us there till late morning, early afternoon. Mental note, never volunteer for a morning Board of Selectmen meeting again.
Yeah.
I'm sure that occurred to everyone when we were sitting there like, don't do this again. So we're all caught up on the Academy, the Route 1 streetscape project. So that was collateral information for us. So that was good. Lauren, did you get any feedback? Anybody get any feedback? I don't know how widely viewed that is. Do people watch that?
I've heard nothing.
Yeah, I don't know how, but it was live. But when it's not live, people watch it more. I assume it runs continuously on the public access channel.
And it runs afterwards on YouTube. Within 5 minutes, it's published as a video for you to view again on YouTube.
Okay,
So
but it's not on the public access cable. Is it on cable or two? Does it show up on cable? Oh, it does. Okay.
I don't know how often.
Yeah.
Like how often you guys are in the rotation, but yes, it should go up on their TV channel as well.
I got some feedback from a couple of people that I'm friendly with in town that kind of checked in because I told them to. And everybody that I talked to was very happy that we're going through a data-driven approach. And a lot of people were enamored with the schedule that was up there, that this is not set to be an extra long endeavor, and that we're looking to have a referendum, by the end of Q1 next year.
Yep.
So a lot of people were excited to be able to look and see what what results a data-driven approach would give us for a quick decision and turnaround on this. I did get a little bit of feedback from some OLM folks. One specifically, I won't name him, who is kind of disappointed that the town is just not offering it to OLM for fair market value. So that's something that we kind of need to keep in mind. I not keep in mind, but just I guess consider is that their concerns and their feelings as well, because the people that use OLM and the OLM trustees are Madison residents too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the day school people probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
They're in the mix. So
The what school?
Country Day School wants to buy the property too. Rumor has it. So they'd be competing, potentially they're interested. And they have a much longer history, but they're probably not as well capitalized. But that's down the road. So anything else on that one, or we can skip on to item 5? So the deed restriction update. So I had a conference call this morning with the Peggy and the attorneys about that, just so they could update us because they had been kind of quiet. And they're going to do, they're going to hire Ancestry.com to do a search for the heirs or the relatives. The Pagnatellis have discontinued, but the Wilcox, I guess you married a Wilcox, which was the owner of the original land that has a long history. So they're hoping within 3 weeks they'll have an heir search and they'll identify the potential heirs for that. And Peggy said to the grapevine, she knows someone who thinks they have it. They know the history of the family. So they're pretty confident they can find an heir. The problem is they may have multiple heirs, because if they go back 3 or 4 generations, they could have 16 cousins.
Well, from what I understand, she had one daughter, and that one daughter had no kids.
Right. So that Pignatelli, and she had a sister who would have been the heir, but she died. So there's no Pignatellis at all. I think that's the name. So the Wilcox family, which was a Madison family, and I think has people in the area, they're optimistic they can find them.
Yeah, she was a Wilcox, and then I think someone in her family actually married into the Hand family, the Daniel Hand. So the Hands, the Wilcox, all the names you hear around here are all tied into them.
Right. So hopefully we only have a few heirs, but we could have quite a few people heirs, depending on how the geology works out, which could complicate our first right of refusal. But we got to get to that step first. So within 3 weeks, hopefully they'll identify the family tree, and they'll let us know who those people are. So they went through the process a little bit. It could be a little more complicated, but it is what it is. So let's see. I think any questions about the deed restriction part, or any comments?
They didn't give any time frame on that, did they?
They said 3 weeks. They're gonna. I mean, well,
I missed
3
that.
weeks for that. If they don't have an heir, then it becomes a legal thing, and they have to take it to the, to a judge, and it's complicated. And it came out that it's actually the buyer. So the buyer, the title company have to certify that this is solid. So the buyer, it could be getting into the question if they feel the title is solid or not. But again, could be more complicated. But hopefully we'll get an heir. There'll be one heir, and we've got to kind of keep him in the loop, because if someone says you have the first right of refusal on this, they may want to, do that. And that also affects the RFP as an aside, because if it's a straight sale, that's easier. But if it's a sale with cash flow, we may have to get looking at a land lease. And this might lead us more likely to, a town control. If the person is going to be a problem, this might lead us towards a path of, keeping it for municipal use rather than sell it, or with a land lease. So it creates a lot of potential complications, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Item 6, public outreach. So that's process has started. Thank you, Lauren, for getting it up to speed. And so how many people, do we have a feel for how many people have taken
You
the
have
poll?
17 responses as of this evening. So,
Wow.
and most of those came in last night, right after the newsletter went out. So, and that might not seem like an overwhelming number, but that is pretty impressive for surveys around town. So, I mean, I would hope that you guys are going to get, at least a few hundred responses between now and the end of the 2-week period.
Great.
Excellent.
And I reached out to the newspaper, and he called me back this morning. I wasn't able to connect with him today, but I'll play that up. He's got the newsletter. I'll put a little article. He's always looking for news, and we'll explain what we're doing. And so I'm sure we should get some good press in the source. Yeah, which I think most people seem to read. I know that's usually my go-to source for info. I don't know about other people, but so that's great. Great. That's getting going. The newsletter went out. Thank you everybody for comments and everything like that. That's great. So I think it's very helpful. Any comments, questions about the newsletter, survey, anything?
I think we're good.
How long do we leave it open, the survey?
I have it up right now for 2 weeks, but I can extend it, at any point in time that you guys decide that you want to extend it.
What does our schedule say for gathering data? Guys, I'm pulling it up right now.
Hey guys, just that schedule I put together, I just made that up. So that I wasn't saying that's what we should do.
No, I tweet.
Look it over.
I know, but as long as we have it, we might as well try to live to it, right?
If it works for everyone, I just tried to work backwards from the lease expiration with 6 months to give them notice, so on and so forth.
Yeah, no, I think you did great. Is that in the?
That was the PowerPoint.
No,
Is that in the drive?
I did not. It's in the slideshow. I
Yeah.
can put it in the drive.
Is that in the drive?
Let's see.
No. Okay. I'll go. Because other than that, I have to go find minutes. Hold on.
Wonder if I still have it on my desktop.
Yeah. And I tweaked a little bit. I dragged a few bars around. I like the way, Joe, you did the 4 colors on the chart.
Yeah,
I think that was great.
I'm color and go with shades because I'm colorblind.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of information. That would be like one of my project 4-page thing, with all that starting ending thing. So it was good. It was compact, but a very effective use of information.
It got the method. It got the message across that we're not playing games.
Right. So I think they kind of reminded Peggy should better get the attorneys going.
Yeah. So the brainstorming poll is supposed to be, it looks like 3 weeks long, from the end of May till the middle of June. So because it only went out yesterday, right? Or today was the first day it was out. So we should be done by the first week of July. And then I think, Joe, it looks like you gave us 6 weeks to compile data.
Yeah, I don't think we need that, but yeah.
And then a week, I guess, or a third of the month of August to compile it.
Yeah, and I think I did that just because we meet every 2 weeks. We could crunch data. We're probably going to have a discussion on how do we categorize and lump things together, and
I can turn this into an actual Gantt chart. Do we want to have an actual Gantt chart? I don't know if anybody actually wants a Gantt chart other than
Right. A Gantt chart maker. Yeah. That's my go-to. Yeah, but no. Yeah, but we probably don't. I think we keep it with the colors because it gives us more flexibility to move things around.
right. The colors and not definitive dates.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Gray.
So I guess if we have 2 weeks for the, I guess we should see where we're at after 2 weeks, right? If we have a couple hundred responses after 2 weeks, then that'll give us some data to actually pour through. And all we're trying to do is get options that aren't sell it to OLM, build houses on it, or turn it into a dog park, right? Because those are the 3 trivial solutions to the problem. We're trying to look. We're as opposed to trying to get ideas from the public, we're trying to look for options that are beyond our collective grasp.
Right. Yeah. Just so we have plausible deniability or credibility that we did not preclude any option.
Right. So if we wait till we have 200 or so responses, if it's 2 weeks, or if it, we can push it hard for 3 weeks and then see what's going on.
So is that something we want to just take a look at, number of responses, quality of responses, our next meeting, and decide if we want to leave it open again?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see what some of the more alternative uses are.
I'd be interested to see.
Cool. Lauren, you're not peeking at the answers, are you? Can you?
As they've come in, I've read a few of them, and the ones I've read have not been anything that jumped out at me. So they've kind of been what we've expected the answers to be, or some of the examples that Jason just gave.
Yeah. I'm wondering how many people are going to say make it a municipal school again, but that's. Someone suggested that with
I'm sure we'll have a lot of
COVID-19.
that.
Well, that's not feasible. So.
Right, exactly. But give people a shot. Okay, great. So I think that covers the newsletter, and I'll try to get some good press coverage over the next week to get more people. Item 7, status of engineering proposal. So we're on the Board of Finance tomorrow evening for approval of the funding, the $10,000.
I thought they didn't have to go to Board of Finance for approval.
Long story, Lauren.
It does have to go to Board of Finance for approval for releasing the funds, not for approving your contract or who you are contracting with. But because the funding is coming out of the planning reserve, Board of Finance has say over what comes out of a reserve account as well.
And that's tomorrow?
That's tomorrow night at 7.
Do you have any inside information on that? Or is this the wrong forum to ask if you have inside information on that?
We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if worst case, we just have to wait till July 1 because then the planning budget's refreshed and we can get our money. We can get the funding through the selectmen anyway, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Laura. Right? So.
Yeah. If something, I don't anticipate there being any issue with this being funded,
Right.
because I think everyone knows it needs to be done. If something were to happen tomorrow night and we weren't able to release funding out of the planning reserve, then come July 1st, it would come out of one of my budgetary line items, and that does not need to go to the Board of Finance for approval.
Got it. And I'm sure Phil Moore will take care of us. Okay, so hopefully that goes fine. We can get that under contract and we can get that going.
Lauren's going to pay for it. Full fails, Lauren's got her back.
It's the hardest 10 grand I've ever had to work for. Okay, so that appears to go in the right direction. I talked to the local consultant. I told him he might be coming and, give him a heads up. New business, any other items?
Yeah, how often are we doing the newsletter? 2 weeks?
Thought we said monthly, but if you're up for, just a question, can you keep it fresh?
Yeah, I think that we could do with one that really pushes the idea of the, just a quick one that really pushes the Board of Selectmen meeting and the, how much support we had at the Board of Selectmen. And then, probably really pushes the survey, probably to come out, in a week or so, maybe 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
When the buzz about the survey goes down and we stop getting 17 people a day.
Right. Got it. As long as your wife's okay, you spending time doing it, working on it, I'm okay. You doing it twice a week.
Yeah, I gotta bounce out of here because we're trying to do Little League this year, and we have a coaches meeting. So,
God bless you.
thanks.
Yeah. Let's see. Public comment. Hearing none. Let's see. So that's 19 minutes. So, does anyone have any other comments?
Good
I
job, Graham.
Yeah, 19 and a half.
The best meeting all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Bravo.
Beautiful. Okay. So anyone make a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous? Vote aye. Okay, Joe, if you could just send that to Rich, the email, your notes, and I'm sure he'll do a wonderful. He'll be like he was actually in the meeting. I'm sure.
And then we're back at it in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, right? Yep. I think Lauren sent an email blast about the calendar schedule, so I
Yeah.
think so. I don't know if July 4th is is there a holiday coming up anywhere we have to move or work around? I don't recall.
No.
We're always looking at the calendar behind me.
I don't think so. I think it was all.
What's
Wednesday.
Yeah, you meet again on June 30th and July 7th, so you miss it.
We're okay.
Got it. Beautiful. Okay, great. Well, great.
Excellent.
Thanks for everybody's work. Take care.
Thanks,
Enjoy your
guys.
dinner.
See you soon.
Okay. Take care. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye.